Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury. Welcome to my channel. It's my daily vlog, so whatever I'm up to is what you're gonna see here. And today, it is the Monday before Thanksgiving. I just got home from work, gotta keep cooking, gotta keep doing that Thanksgiving prep because when you're working and you gotta do the Thanksgiving meal, there's not a lot of time, not a lot of wiggle room in this. So I did the pie, the pumpkin pie and the pecan pie yesterday, and those are in the freezer because those can keep in there. Now today, I'm doing this in the order of which will stay fresh and what can go in the freezer versus the refrigerator and what will last to Thanksgiving. So today I'm gonna be doing cranberry sauce and a grain-free focaccia bread. So the recipe that I'm going to be following for the focaccia bread is from a website called freshwaterpeaches.com. Yes, .com. So I will link to the recipe that I'm using and I will put that in the description of this video and we'll do a little bit of a recipe review on that. And let's get cooking. We got a lot to do. So first up, we're going to do the cranberry sauce. Got my packet of cranberries. And we are just gonna follow the recipe that's on the back. So the only ingredients that I need are gonna be cranberries, water, and the recipe calls for sugar, but by now we know it's honey instead of sugar for me. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're doing this on the stovetop. So I have my standard saucepan, and we're gonna put in 1 cup of water. The recipe calls for a cup of sugar. Now to me, I know cranberries are tart, but that seems awfully sweet. So I'm actually gonna start with just half a cup of honey. Normally when I sub in honey, I do it at a 1-to-1 ratio, but that just seems awfully sweet to me. And since you could always add, but you can't subtract, I'd rather start light than go heavy. So I'm gonna do 1 cup of water, half a cup of honey, and the whole bag of cranberries. This is what it looks like. It's just sort of the dissolved honey. So it says to let this boil and then to add the cranberries. So now these are gonna simmer, and as they simmer, they're gonna burst. So just beware that they do go and they do pop as they're simmering. Their skins kind of rupture. So just if you hear pop pop if you're doing this, just it's expected. But be careful because things can splatter too. So just be mindful of that. Okay, 10 minutes later, this is what it looks like. This is the consistency. It is very thick. Very, kind of like jelly. And when it cools, it'll get even thicker. So at this point, I'm just gonna let this cool just a little bit so I'm not worried about damaging the container I'm gonna put it in. But I'm gonna transfer it to a storage bin in just a few moments. And while those cranberries are cooling, let me show you the ingredient lineup for the focaccia that I'm gonna be making. So we're gonna need olive oil. The skull again is my almond flour. We also need cassava flour. We have thyme, rosemary, and garlic powder. We have baking soda and salt. And I have to get some eggs out of the refrigerator. This is gonna be one of those classic mix up the dry ingredients first, then add in the wet ingredients. Then my 8x8 baking dish is kind of occupied at the moment because those pecan pie bars are in it. So I'm going to use this springform pan instead. So typically I would use my 8x8 baking dish, but it's occupied. So I have the batter, it's all good, and now I have to grease the springform pan. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pour a little dab of olive oil, and I have a little silicone brush, and I'm just gonna paint the pan. And then I'm gonna pour the batter in, spread it flat, top it with a little extra rosemary, and into the oven it goes. So now that focaccia is in the oven, so back to those cranberries. Time to put them into the container I'm going to be keeping them in, and then they can go in the fridge. So there was a little steam still coming off those cranberries as I was pouring them. So I'm gonna let them finish cooling on the counter, and then they're gonna go in the fridge. You don't wanna put hot stuff in the fridge. That's not a good way to cool it down because it actually makes everything else warm. Gotta let this cool a little bit more. Then it's going in the fridge. Focaccia is in the oven baking. We're almost done for the night. I just took this out of the oven. It looks so good. It smells delicious. So I'm gonna let this cool, and then we'll slice it. There we go. There we go. Look at that. It looks so good. So I cut a little piece off to give a try. So let's give it a taste. At first I was worried it was like a little dry, but I just got the crusty edge. But then when I got to the middle part, spot on. It's a little garlicky, it's herby, it's all the right things. It's fluffy, it's got that little bit of a bounce to it. This is great. This is a great grain-free, gluten-free focaccia bread. I think this is fantastic. So when we get up to doing the stuffing on Thanksgiving Day, I made 2 of these. And one of them is getting cut up into cubes and getting toasted and dried out, and I'm letting it go stale. And I'm going to be using this to make the stuffing that's going to go in the bird. So doing double duty on this recipe here. And again, I'll put the recipe in the description of this video, so if you want to try it, you go right over to that website and give it a try. We got the cranberries in the fridge now. They are chilling. They're waiting for Thanksgiving. I got some focaccia for my table bread, and I am all set. With that, I am done for the day. I will see everybody soon. And until then, stay inspired. Bye, everyone. Take care.